Hey, thanks for watching Hard Drive Online. I'm Roxy, and I'm here with Bullet For My Valentine's Matt Tuck and Jamie Mathias. So how's the tour been?
It's great. It's what an honor to be invited on a tour with a band like Slipknot. You know what I mean? So it's been fantastic. Timing has worked out amazing as well. Obviously, we've been pushing the new record Venom whilst on tour, so everything's been great. You know, the guys are great, the shows are fantastic, and we're having a great time.
So, Jamie, I know that you've been touring with Bullet for a while. You guys did South America, but I was curious to know, what was it like the first time you were on stage with Bullet opening for Slipknot?
I remember the first show was in Florida, and walking out before we went on and looking at this amphitheater, I was like, this is amazing, do you know what I mean? I was just so excited, do you know what I mean? And every show it's been going absolutely amazing, and I don't think we can wish to be on a better tour, do you know what I mean?
So, Jamie, how did you become the new bass player for Bullet For My Valentine?
Obviously, I've been in previous bands before, and I think that's when I got to meet Padge, and I done a few recording sessions in his home studio, and with my previous band it didn't work out, so I had to get a day job working in a car shop in Cardiff, and he just texted me one night. He was saying, would you be up for auditioning for Bullet? And I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was looking around, I was like, why not? Do you know what I mean? So I got a few songs. I filmed myself playing Your Betrayal, Raising Hell and Demon. Sent it to the boys, and they asked me to come and do a live audition with them in London. And
That was that.
you know.
I mean, really, it seems like it was such an effortless thing because, I'm sure, finding a replacement is not the easiest thing, when you're a tight-knit band like Bullet is. So, were you apprehensive at first, or did you automatically know this is the guy?
Well, I think we were all apprehensive, yeah, up until the day that we decided that he was the guy for the job. It's not something we'd ever experienced before, and having kind of the friendship with Jay, even prior to the band existing, went way back. So we were obviously going through an emotional time, really, of what to do. But we knew we were going to continue. We knew that we needed to find someone who could do what Jay did, but it was an opportunity to get someone even better in a way, without sounding harsh. It was like, okay, now's a shot. We can get someone who can do what we need him to do and excel, So we had tons of videos. We went through them all, and we whittled it down to 2 guys, Jamie being one of them. Held 2 live auditions, and he just came in and smashed it. He did everything we needed him to do. Did all the backing vocals unprompted. Just kind of like there was just no fuss. And obviously being a Welsh boy as well, it was the icing on the cake. So it was cool, man. It made a potentially really hard time very easy.
Let's sort of talk about your influences. Who were some of the musicians, both of you, that inspired you to pick up a guitar?
For me, it was always Metallica. They were the reason why I got into heavy music. It was the reason, those guys are the reason why I picked up a guitar. I wanted to play like Hetfield and stuff like that. So it was always those guys. And then as my musical taste grew and expanded, it ventured off in many different places. It was all kind of heavy based, everything from Def Leppard to like Slayer and stuff. So that was it. Those were the guys. It was always Metallica and Hetfield and Hammer. Those are the guys that actually, they're actually the reason why I'm here talking to you today. It was that important for me. They were a band that meant everything.
What about you, Jamie?
Same type of thing, really. It's Metallica. Like my parents would listen to old school records like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. So the music have always been drilled into me from such a young age. And I think as you grow up, you start to, find bands like Metallica, Pantera, do you know what I mean? And it just gets heavier. But as you get older, you find different styles of music as well. But it's just the same type of thing, really.
What were some of the first concerts you ever went to?
First concert I ever went to was a Meatloaf concert. I think it was 1992, and it was in Cardiff Arena, which we've now played a couple of times. And it was amazing. I think 11 years old or something, so I wasn't really a music fan. It was just something I was dragged along to with my parents. But it was an actual moment, you know. It was like just the volume and the show and just kind of the crowd, and you know, it was my first experience of that type of event, and it just blew me away, you know. So, and then from then on, obviously I got my own musical taste and stuff like that, but the first ever proper metal show I went to was a Sepultura show, and that was an experience. That was my first experience of being in a mosh pit and all that kind of nonsense, getting my head kicked in the most beautiful way. If that's possible.
That's a heavy show to start to say with one of your first, for sure. What about you?
I think mine was Iron Maiden. I think was it the first Download Festival they done, 2003. I think it was, and yeah, my dad took me to watch them, and it just blew me away. Do you know what I mean? Just, you know, I was like 13 at the time, and I was just like, you know, it's just amazing. And a couple of weeks ago, we was in Florida, and we happened to visit Nico, the drummer, his restaurant, and that was amazing. It was. We sat down with him, and it was just surreal. You mean, like, you know, my first ever concert was Iron Maiden, and getting to meet him on dinner at his restaurant, so it's kind of surreal.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you know, hardDrive has been with Bullet For My Valentine practically from the beginning. Do you have any recollection, you know, for our 20th anniversary, I'm thinking, do you have a recollection of the first time you ever met, you know, Lou Brutus, or first time you were ever on the show?
Don't remember the first time. I remember there being multiple encounters. It's usually on a tour bus in a backstage area somewhere, you know. So yeah, we've, you know, we have had a relationship with you guys for many years, you know. And I think obviously we did a tour a couple of years ago, which was co-branded together, you know, hardDrive XL tour and stuff, you know. So yeah, it's good, you know. We've always appreciated the support, and we continue to give back as much as we can, you know.
Well, and we appreciate it, man, for sure. You know, we were talking about You Want to Battle, Here's a War, and which touches on the subject of bullying. I would love you to sort of, you know, kind of talk about your personal experience.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was with me in school, you know what I mean? But for some reason I was always an easy target. So it was always kind of like these 2 or 3 guys that they just wouldn't leave me alone. They would torture me like mentally, and it actually came down to it then where it was getting physical, and they'd be like just laying into me for no reason, just in the school hall, walking past, bam, he'd just throw one in the face. You know, and it just got ridiculous in the end, and it got to the point where I just kind of shut down. I became so scared just even to walk the street around my house, go to school. You know, it mentally really tortured me, you know. So the physical stuff, I was taking it on the chin like a champ, you know what I mean? I'm so stupid, I just wouldn't go down. So, but that got to the point now where I'd have so many marks and bruises and black eyes that the teachers actually eventually, after a couple of years of having it done, they dragged it out of me. And that was that, you know what I mean? I remember that my teacher at the time felt so passionate about it that he actually, when I opened up to him, I don't know if I should be saying this really, because I'm sure he's not a teacher anymore, but we basically told him who this guy was, and he goes, right, follow me. So we went traipsing around the school, and we bumped into the guy in a hallway, and he said, is this him? And I said, yes. And my teacher grabbed him by the throat, threw him up against the wall, and said, if you ever touch him again, I will fucking kill you. Which is not the done thing, but you know, it was something that immediately stopped everything, though, you know. And I'm sure it wouldn't have got to the point, but I just think this, you know, my teacher, we were quite close, and he knew stuff was going on. I think the only way he think it was going to stop was to kind of fight fire with fire in a way, which is not the right thing to do, but it was a situation that helped me at the time, you know. So opening up immediately stopped everything, you know. But I still, for years after that, I was still quite scarred, you know. I was still scared to walk certain areas of town and stuff like that, and you know. But I've grown up mentally and physically a lot stronger, and I'll take on anyone now, you know. So I have learned from it, and it has made me a stronger person and a better person. But you know, it's an awful experience to go through.
In your life, and I've often thought about this, if there was one thing that you could do over again, have a do-over on, what would it be?
For me, there's a couple of things there, and they're band related. I would have learned how to sing properly during the first album process, because we went from just being a band, you know, 4 dudes playing now and again, to having an opportunity to make a record, which we did, and it just blew up. And there was no education of how to be a singer. That's why I learned the hard way, by almost killing myself, having emergency tonsillectomies and all this kind of crap. So I would have loved to do that again, and obviously kind of all those repercussions then got applied onto Screaming Fire, the second record, and I can't even listen to that record anymore because of the way the voice sounds. So it was, yeah, bad time. So if I could change anything, it would be that, retract the vocals on that record. I'd love to do that.
What about you?
I don't know really. I think, what happened in the past to me is just what happened. Like, we just move on and.
I think he's done everything right. He's in Bullet For My Valentine right now. Nothing he'd change. nothing we'd all change really, but
That's true. So now, right before news even came about the album, I think, is when we heard about, sadly, the death of one of your fans. And a curious story about the parents had some jewelry made with the ashes of the poor fellow, and they somehow, the pieces got to you, and you guys have been carrying them around on the tour?
Yeah, it was just something we heard of via Twitter, that these two young boys had been in a car accident together that were huge Bullet fans. So just reaching out, we actually replied and said, just sorry to hear of it, all, sorry to hear of your loss. There's not a lot you can do in that situation, apart from just reach out and say, we hear you, we get you. And then for some reason they got in contact with our management and said, look, they had this idea that they knew the boys would love, and they basically, after the guys were cremated, they got some special jewelry made and put some of the ashes in this jewelry, one for each of the boys, and said, would you take it on tour? So we said, yeah, fuck yeah, why not? So we did. So we have them in one of our road cases right now. And yeah, they came to South America and they've been on the tour. We've had pictures taken with them, and they've become part of the band now, and they've become, I don't know, just big. They've become kind of a legacy, which is kind of cool, right? It's pretty special. It's it's something that didn't take any effort from us, but it obviously means a lot to their friends and their family, and now they actually have a legacy that is related with our band, so it's pretty cool.
Are you actually wearing the jewelry, or is it just sort of hanging on the stage, or?
I think Padge wore for a couple of shows.
Padge has been wearing it, and then we just kind of just take it around. I'm personally so scared to have it in case I lose it. So they come around in one of the locked up guitar cases and stuff like that. So yeah, worst thing in the world if you lose something like that, that would suck.
At what point in the band's, coming around, you and Padge, obviously both guitar players, when did it become comfortable, trading licks and trading, like coming to, all right, this is your part, this is my part. I mean, does that take a while, or did it just come naturally to you two?
Yeah, it was just kind of naturally, I think. Because of what I do live, I have to do both, which is quite a demanding role. So if there is something a little bit trickier, it gets palmed off to Padge. And if there's, when we're doing the harmony stuff, if there's something which is a bit the odder part, 'cause there's always one harmony which is a bit weirder to play, so I'll always have the easier role. But obviously being the vocalist as well, it's you just kind of dish it out as it's a very natural thing. Yeah. It's something that we've never thought about or anything. It's never actually come up in conversation really. It always just becomes obvious who does what, just because of the role I have to do as well. So.
Well, what are some of your goals for the Venom album? I mean, is there maybe a place you'd like to play that the band hasn't gone to yet, or something you would like to see the album achieve?
I think we just want people to like it first and foremost. It's obviously it's a tricky one. We could say many things that we wanted to do, but I think where we are right now, we're kind of happy in what we've achieved with our band and stuff like that. So there's definitely a couple of things on the hit list. Like we would love the opportunity to headline Download Festival one day. I think that's the only thing I think on my personal list that my eyes are set on that prize, So we just wanted to be able to do well and be relevant in what we do and enable us to continue doing what we love and do and continue on the journey of Bullet. It's been one of those stories that is kind of, if you had to like tell someone about a fantasy about growing up, we've achieved stuff that is unachievable, and just hopefully this album can give us the opportunity to hopefully achieve more things.
What is it about Download? I mean, it just seems, I only went once when actually it was an Ozfest, and the thing that blew my mind, I was standing on the side of the stage for System of a Down, and I saw these bottles like sort of being tossed around and eventually coming up on stage, but they were literally not filled with beer. They were filled with urine. And I don't understand, like, who thinks that is a cool idea, that the band would definitely want your urine in front of the stage.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to happen anymore. I think it doesn't happen as much anymore. But I think for us, it's a UK festival, you know, UK band. Like, if you headline that festival, you are rock royalty, and you are legitimately there for life. And if you nail that show, that's it. That's it. You are rock royalty, you know. So I think that if we can do that and get on that kind of list of your Metallica, Maiden, System of a Down, Slipknot, that's what an incredible achievement that would be, you know. So that's kind of what we're aiming for.
Awesome. Well, you download promoters, if you're watching this now. Here's your headliners for 2016.
Here we are, boys. You know what's the thing to do.
Well, Matt Tuck and Jamie Mathias, thank you so much from Bullet For My Valentine.
Cool.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
No worries, thank you.
All right. All the best.
Hard Drive Online is brought to you in part by Napa Auto Parts. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. If you simply can't get enough Hard Drive, download the official hardDriveRadio app. You'll get exclusive interviews, performances, and RAN streams straight to your phone for free. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and if you are a Breaking Benjamin fan like me, check out some more videos like this Breaking Benjamin cover of Prison Sex by Tool, or this interview with me and Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Until next time, I'm Lou Brutus, and that'll do it for all of us here from Hard Drive Online.